Above the Rest Outdoors, professional hunting advice.
Okay, so what I've got here is locator calls. Now, I'll have to admit 100%, I carry one locator call. Now, I will say too, I only carry one locator call in Montana and the western states. When I used to live in Arkansas and Virginia, my favorite locator call was probably an owl. We've got a couple of them here. We've got the power owl or the shocking owl. I tend to steer towards smaller calls most of the time. Owl calls back east and down south work phenomenally. A lot of times, a lot of timber, and you want turkeys to gobble, and then you got to move on them. We're out west out here, what we're dealing with a lot of times is a lot of open country. So a lot of times we're going to hear these birds gobble from a lot farther away, and maybe we can see the tree they're in, or we know right where they're at. So we don't tend to use owl calls near as much. But anyhow, they sound very good, very easy to blow. You just simply blow into the call, and the cadence that they tell you to use on an owl call is who cooks for you, or who cooks for you all. However you want to do the and the end of that is me going with my tongue. That's what gives you that sound of that owl. So it's who cooks for you, who cooks for you all. So pretty easy, just blow into the call. This one works the same way. Just don't blow it near as hard because it's made out of wood and the sound chamber is a little different. Pretty nice sounding call, not as loud as the other one. A couple other things here I got though is a peacock call. And I don't know about you guys, but I see peacocks everywhere. We got them in Montana. None of them are wild. Most of the time they're at someone's ranch. But they will flat make a turkey gobble. And that's because they're so loud. And it's just a quick, loud noise from them. And boy, that is really, really loud. And so it can get turkeys to gobble for you from a long ways away. Hawk call, don't use it, almost never. The reason is I would say that a hawk call is very similar to a coyote call. It can be a predator of a turkey. A lot of people ask me all the time, why can't you just use a coyote call? It's really loud. They're absolutely right. Problem is, turkey gobbles, he's sitting in a tree, but then he's going to stay in that tree. I don't want him to stay there. I want him to fly down, but if he thinks there's a coyote around, he may gobble at it, but he's not going to fly out of that tree. So I don't use predator sounds. So I don't use one of these at all. The one that I tend to lean on the most is probably the crow call. A power crow is one of the, just easy call. You just blow on it. Very simple, and I can use it all day long. And it's small. I can carry it anywhere. So if I'm going to look for a locator call, I'm probably going to buy a crow call because I can use it in the morning or in the afternoon, and it works all day long. The last thing that I want to mention is I leave the gobbler call for basically a locator call. I very seldom use it any other time, but occasionally I will. To use the call properly, simply shake the call. Okay, that's supposed to be a bigger tom. And then you can also shake it, push it in and out. And it's a little more of a Jake sounding call. I just don't use gobble calls very often when I'm turkey hunting. I basically stick with the hen calls, but once in a while I will throw that at some toms, and it has helped once or twice. But I will use it sometimes as a locator call because a lot of times turkeys will gobble at another turkey. So keep in mind, just shake it, put the lid on it, and then that call won't make any noise when it's riding around in your pocket or whatever. Nothing happens. So I hope this helps you with your locator calls. Pretty simple. Be ready for this turkey season. Thanks for watching Above the Rest Outdoors.
Above the Rest Outdoors. The gear, the experience, the knowledge.